Okay, I think we have it. Do we have
Yep.
it? Okay. Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of the Get Growing Weekly Work Session with GetOiling. We got a girl party here today. Uh, say hello to Kim and Amanda. We've got all kinds of people coming into the chat over here. Let us know where you're coming in from. We're happy to hear from you. Who is excited to learn about a new content provider for GetOiling today? Quick show of hands as you're coming in. We want to hear from you. Which puppy do you have in your lap right now, Amanda?
I have Fendi. She's a girl too, so she's joining the girl party.
Wally, you can't be here. He's hiding in his kennel. Anyway, so you guys, just a couple of quick things here at the top today. And this speaks to a theme. We've been hearing from a lot of you guys who are either using our platform or you're doing other stuff with your marketing, and you've got this thing that you're dealing with when you post something or you share something, or maybe you email or you text or you send out a class or whatever, and people aren't responding, right? So today we're going to address that directly and talk about how to create marketing that gets people to reach out. And then of course, through our content provider, how you can get that done for you. But we will go ahead and make some acknowledgements here at the beginning of the call. First, a minute of gratitude, in spite of the fact that that the universe has been throwing things at our panel and guests here collectively. Our children are safe, and our families are safe and accounted for. But our special guest today is actually an attendee today because she has a sick kiddo who is getting better, and then also. She lives in Alabama, where tornadoes came through last night. They're thankfully safe, but the kids are home from school today. So we're going to talk to you guys about how you can get an even better in-depth session with her. But don't miss this training. We are going to be taking questions. This is live Q&A. If this is your first time with us and you have no idea what I'm talking about, you're going to learn more about that soon. And also, importantly, you are going to learn about how to create marketing today that will get people to reach out to you. And this is brought to you by GetOiling, the platform that provides you a way to reach people directly, brand yourself, and share Young Living. And you can watch these weekly work sessions on our YouTube channel. Watch just hundreds of hours of them. And of course, you can come over and join us at GetOiling.com for $1 today if you don't have us yet. So let me open my chat over here. Let's see. Yes, you can. Yes, it's normal that you can only see the person that's talking. So when the next person says something like Amanda and Kim, please say hello, you can see them. Awesome.
Oh, Kim can't talk yet. Her video isn't working still.
Oh. Okay, well, we love you. We love you, Kim.
Yes, but everybody, welcome to today's session. This is another exciting announcement, and ready to get started.
Yeah. Oh, and Sarah in the comments. So this is a Zoom webinar, which means the panelists are the ones that are talking and that you can see. The meetings, which we actually have included with their GetOiling memberships, are the ones where everyone shows up and anyone can talk. So with that said, we're glad that you're here. I'm going to go ahead and pop over to some slides. I got some really exciting stuff to share with you guys today. All right. So can you see my screen, panel?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to turn off my video if you guys want to do the same.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. That'll make sure everybody can just see the screen here, and then we can pop back over later if you want to. All right, so we're going to do, today we're going to talk about marketing that makes people reach out. And if this will let me, there we go. I want to welcome everybody. If you're new here today, we're certainly glad to have you here. If you are one of the great members of our community, we're certainly excited to have you as well. Today, we're going to talk about marketing that makes people reach out to you. We're going to share our new GetOiling content provider, and we're going to show you how you can join that exclusive call with that content provider coming up here in the next week. And if you have questions, all right, guys, so if you came here today and you're struggling with anything in your business, particularly where it pertains to marketing, but this is open season, you can go ahead and add those questions to the Q&A. We will have time to get hands-on and work with you at the end of this call. This weekly thing that we do is designed to not only teach you things, But it's not just designed, for you to just sit and learn things that we talk to you about, right? This is an opportunity for you to get hands-on. So if there's something that you're struggling with, anything, we can get hands-on with you in your business today. Go ahead and ask those questions in the Q&A, and we will set you up and work with you here at the end of the call. All right, so first I want to ask you guys a question, and panel, if you could read these off to me as people answer. What action do you want people to take when you email or text them? All right, if you're here today and you send, and I guess I should also include if you DM them on Facebook, right? Although that's a little bit different. When you are sending out an email, sending out a text, whether that's a broadcast, a campaign, or a one-to-one message, what is the action that you want people to take?
Reply back to me.
Reply back? Yeah,
yep.
Absolutely. So here's the thing. That is the answer. Ding, ding, gold star. That's the correct answer.
Yes, and that's the same thing everybody else is saying here. Respond, engagement.
Yes, that's right. All right, good. I mean, ultimately the action that we want people to take is to say yes to Young Living and then purchase product, right? But the real correct answer is when you reach out to someone, whether that is in bulk or one-to-one, you want them to respond, right? So how many people here, just quick show of hands, do you want to know how to get more people responding to you? Let me see all those hands there.
Yes.
There they are. So you want to get more people responding to you because it is that response, it's that engagement that gets people moving toward that conversion into member, right? So the flow works like this. You've got curiosity that turns into conversation, right? Conversation is bolded because that is the most important part of this process. Then you go into sharing information and then they make the decision. This is the way this works if you don't want an uphill battle. Unfortunately, the way that this can often look that results in a ton of frustration is that by proxy of being connected to you, they get promoted to, then you hear crickets and then you get frustrated, right? How many of you have felt this way before? How many of you are seeing the difference between these things? And maybe, yeah, there it is. Yes. So you've felt this way before, right? You've been frustrated because you're like, well, I'm sharing the promos, I'm posting the classes, I'm hosting the classes. And I mean, if you're hosting classes in person and promoting them and people aren't showing up, you feel this even more sharply, right? So it's not about promoting to warm bodies, right? Everything in this business revolves around, if you want success anyway, revolves around a conversation. So every single thing you do, whether it is toward a prospect, toward a member, toward a teammate, and so on, every single action that you take, every single thing that you put out there needs to be in the interest of getting a response, opening the door to a conversation. Does that make sense? That's what we want, right? So we need to think about our marketing as a means of outreach, right? Not as a means of promotion, although that is, there is a way that this fits in. I'm not saying that, PV promos don't have a home in your business. They do, but it's important that we contextualize this. And it's important that we remember that our mindset is everything where this is concerned. Just like we aren't promoting to get a sale, right? We are inspiring curiosity to get a conversation, to share relevant information so someone can make a decision, right? We have to have our mind in the right place if we want to get this result. And then we're also going to talk to you today about how you can adapt what you're already doing to get better results with people reaching out to you. We're going to talk about what it means to simplify your marketing. If, for those of you who are totally mind blocked or stuck when it comes to creating campaigns or messages on your own using the GetOiling platform to reach out to your people, how you can simplify the process and the way that you approach it so that it is easier for you and that it's more effective. And then really exciting, you guys, if you want to get this done for you, right? And there's a sweet deal in this for you too. How you can get a Young Living Gold Leader's emails and texts for your own business use to prompt that outreach from your members. We're going to learn about how you can get that too, who that is, and why you want it. All right, so first let's talk about how to shift your mindset and shift your results where it comes to getting engagement, getting people to respond. First, we got to ask ourselves, with everything that we put out there, whether it's an email, a text, a campaign, a broadcast, a page, or a post, are we talking with people or are we talking at people? right? Show of hands. Does this make sense? Are we having or inspiring the beginning of a conversation, or are we doing what I'm doing right now, which is talking at, right? Are we playing professor in the front of the room, or are we sitting down for coffee and listening to our friend? The latter is the thing you want to do, okay? In that analogy, not what's written here in front of you. So you want to be talking with people. So when you go to write something, when you go to share something, always keep this in mind. People are going to respond in the way that you approach them, right? It's a reaction. You want to elicit a reaction that's favorable to the outcome. So that means that the way you approach someone fundamentally needs to be from the mindset of talking with them, okay? And then your mindset is your desire to sell product or to change lives. I believe for everyone who is sitting here, or everyone who is watching this today, your true intention is to change lives with these products. I know that to be true. I know you guys. However, where we have an expressed need in our being, whether that comes from a money thing or a success thing, wherever that lies within you, you can subtly infect your language with intention that does not work toward the end that you seek. All right. Another way to put this is, and this is something that, perhaps you've heard this before. If you haven't, this may kind of be an eye-opener for you. When you get objections from people, they typically reflect mindset issues you need to work on yourself, right? Like if you, how many of you have ever gotten oh, well, maybe it's too expensive. It's too expensive for me, right? I would encourage you, and I know this is kind of a tangent, if you are getting a lot of, oh, but that's so expensive, I would invite you to sit down with yourself and examine what money mindset shifts could help you personally. Because the gaps in your growth are going to be reflected in the reaction that people have to you. Does that make sense? Quick show of hands. Does that make sense? All right, good. So remember, when you're communicating with people, that you need to communicate from the heart. You need to be there for them first. Obviously, understanding that if you're there for them and that this is a fit, everything that you want is going to follow, right? So is your desire to sell product or change lives, make that be the true heart-centered approach that you are taking when you're communicating. And then finally, this is really important too, you guys, and I'm speaking to everyone, but I'm kind of looking at you leaders, right? Are you sharing what you think looks or sounds nice, or what your prospect members and team need to hear from you? Are you thinking about what other people are thinking of you? Right? Are you thinking about what you think might be the best thing, looks the best, it's the prettiest, it's the this, it's the that? Or are you having a conversation and responding to that conversation with what they need from you? This is an important mindset shift, okay? And this actually speaks to a feature that we have inside of our own platform to help you as you grow, where you can actually segment your contacts so that you aren't just sending the same email to every single person, right? You can tailor the way that you communicate so as to not send the exact same stuff to your builders as you do to others in your organization who are not sharing right now. Does that make sense? All right, so that's our mindset. We got that done. All right, so let's talk about some simple shifts that you can make today to get more responses, to get more engagement in your business. First, you need to use open-ended questions. This is key. This means open-ended questions. This means the answer to this question that you ask is not a yes or a no. It necessitates a further conversation, a further response. If you want to build real relationships, and this is one-on-one or at scale, right? If you're sending a text or an email out to a large list of people, whether they're prospects, members, sharers, and so on, use open-ended questions. This is key because again, like I said in the beginning, every single thing that you do is in service of furthering a conversation, right? It's not in service of getting more people to buy the PV promo this month. If you have the conversation correctly, a lot of people will do that, right? But you got to have the conversation first. So use open-ended questions to do that. Also, make sure that you're providing information when people ask for it. So don't just assume that they want it because it's promo time. A couple of ways that you can get this done inside of the GetOiling platform is to use landing pages so that people can opt into campaigns. Instead of just sending campaigns out to your entire audience, right? Your entire list that you bring in from your VO, you can send out a link where they can opt in, right? Where you made a class or you've used a class from a third-party provider. Instead of just sending that class out to everyone who is your contact, give them an opportunity to opt in and say, yes, I want that, right? It's really important that you have that consent in that relationship if you want people to respond to that information in the way you would like for them to, which is with openness, right? And a desire to further the conversation and actually take advantage of what you're offering, right? That's what we want. So be mindful of that. So the shift here is to provide information when people ask of it. So not to necessarily paste a link in a Facebook thread where maybe somebody is talking about their back pain and you say, oh, hey, I use this, I love this, right? Instead, you can say something to the effect of, oh my God, I totally hear you. I've dealt with that too. I'm super grateful that, I found one thing, not everything works for everybody, but I found a thing that works for me. And then they can come to you and say, oh, well, hey, can you tell me more? Right? That's the difference. You need to make the shift to where people come to you, as opposed to you just shouting it out, however, by whatever means you choose to do that, and hoping that maybe somebody goes, oh, hey, over here, maybe I want that, right? It's far more effective to make this into a conversation. Does that make sense? Quick show of hands. Right? We don't want to just put all this information out because it's PV promo time, right? We don't want to just put, all of the, February themed oils out and just blast them all month because that's February, it's February, right? What you want to do is do what you can to start conversations, right? And you can do this in a big way with campaigns as well. I'm not saying that, if you've got thousands of people you want to reach out to, don't send a PV promo, but just keep the shift in mind, right? Give people an option to engage and give them a means to reach out to you directly. All right. So then importantly, especially where your prospects are concerned, frame what you're sharing with them in the context of the conversations that you're having. Okay, this is important for everyone that you're connected to in the scope of your business. It's especially important for prospects because Young Living has such a broad range of benefit that could be applied to anyone. It's super overwhelming to try to present them with that kind of broad amount of information and expect for them to make a decision, right? So what you want to do, again, everything is about the conversation, is to share with them not the PV promo for February because it's February, but share with them the product line or the product specifically that deals with what they've brought up in their conversation with you. Really important shift to make there. All right, now let's talk about how you can simplify your marketing. Who really loves the idea of making marketing really, really, really simple? Quick show of hands. Please, everybody. Everybody wants simple marketing. Everybody. And I don't care how green you are. You can get more of it done if we are simplifying it. All right, so first, just most importantly, you guys, it doesn't matter where you're writing, and I'll use the term here, copywriting is the correct sort of industry language term. Your copywriting is simply the words that you use, and it's everywhere that you show up, whether that's on your social media posts and your about sections, on your pages, on the homepage of your site, in your emails, in your texts, everything needs to be in your voice, right? Everything needs to be in your voice, and you need to write everything. Even if you know it's going to go out to 6,000 people, You need to write everything like you are talking, sitting down together, having coffee with your best friend. Okay? If you do that, people will feel good about what you're saying. They'll feel like this is approachable, and they'll feel that it's easy for them to respond because they feel like you're talking to them. If you take nothing else away from this, aside from the link I'm going to give you to our amazing new content provider, please, please, please remember this. Everything that you write needs to be written in your own voice, just you. And it's okay if you've got typos or you've got, your own sort of accented language pattern. It's perfectly fine because it's your voice and people want to hear from you. Okay, so write like you're talking one-to-one with your bestie, and then write like you are expecting a response from them. You remember those open-ended questions? Write to them like you want a response. So say the thing you want to say and then say, what do you think? Tell me in the comments. What do you think? Hit reply now, right? Write like you are writing one-to-one to another person and that you're expecting to hear back from him, just like you wrote a single email to your friend or a single text to your friend. And then don't forget to ask for a response. Hit reply now or let me know. Don't be afraid, especially in your marketing, okay? Don't be afraid to tell people what to do. It's not a red thing or a pushy thing to do. It just reiterates the expectation. It takes it from implied, right, suggested to expected. And there's nothing wrong with you going through the trouble of sharing something with somebody or asking someone a question and expecting that they have the respect to reply to you, right? So don't forget, ask for a response. Specifically include the language, hit reply. Specifically include the language, let me know, right? And use those open-ended questions. And then really importantly, consider your language when you are writing anything, okay? Meet people where they are. Sorry, I got a little typo here. Meet people where they are. Don't talk like a Young Living insider, okay? They're not gonna get it. And you guys, you'd be surprised at how many of your members this applies to. This isn't just about prospects. Your members who need to be brought further into the fold. You are, if you are here today, you are deeply committed to your business. You are deeply committed to the mission of this company, and it comes out in your language because you're so used to talking to each other and among each other and hearing from each other, and you've got insider language. Insider language is talking at, not with, the majority of people that you really want to be responding to you. Show of hands, does that make sense? So using things like OGV and PV and, obviously seed to seal is fine, right? But you got to understand that the majority of people who will receive your communications, the vast majority, only know a fraction of what you do, okay? Stop thinking that you need to become some grand elevated expert in everything in order to have credibility in this business. The majority of people, and I'm talking to you right now, if you're a distributor, if you're a star, anybody, but especially if you're getting started, you know more than the person behind you. Remember that's who you're talking to, and you want to elevate them and help them, and trying to speak to some higher level is not going to help them understand. Meet them where they are and do away with the insider language. All right, now let's talk about our newest product, our newest, content provider, our content partner. This is Modern Companion. Now, Jen, as I mentioned before, is not able to join us live here today with video. She's got all of her kids at home and one of them was sick. I hope he's feeling better. So Modern Companion, you guys, is really kind of different from the other text and email marketing providers in the Young Living space. And it's specifically because the language that Jen uses in her email and text bundles, these communications that she has prepared for you, these are along the lines of what I've been talking about today. They are designed for you to get responses from people. They are written like you would be talking to someone one-to-one. This is very different. We love all of our content providers, but Jen's is really different. This isn't about having a class about a specific product line. Now, she does have beautiful images and class-like campaigns that can help you to educate your prospects and your members and lead your builders as well. But there is a texture to the way that she writes this stuff that really elicits response easily from the folks who are using this. Jen is a gold leader. I'm actually going to pop over and show you guys. I'm going to switch my share over here to a website where I'm going to show you exactly what you get with them. And I also want to talk to you about Modern Companion, an opportunity for you to meet with a Modern Companion founder and ask her all kinds of great questions. Okay, so if you have questions about Modern Companion, that is something that we will be addressing in full on our upcoming live call with her. If you go to getoiling.com/Modern Companion now, you will get a link for, or rather this code right here. If you use the code GetOiling, you'll get $5 off of your first month with Modern Companion. But also if you scroll down, and of course this is going to be valid if you are, actually let me shrink this up a little bit so you guys might be able to see it a little better. If you scroll down a bit here, you'll see that, that we do have a webinar coming up. And of course, this is, you know, for those of you who are watching this as a recording later on, we'll link to this, but we will have a live Q&A with her about how these things are really impacting the growth of her business, her team, and of course, her members of Modern Companion. But guys, I just want to make sure that you go over there right now, getoiling.com/Modern Companion, and learn more about this. When you go to her site here, you can actually see a little bit more. You can learn more, see some of the example images that she uses. But really importantly, the way that this works inside of the GetOiling platform is like it does with other content providers, which means when you sign up for Modern Companion, you will be able to get her texts and emails and saved replies directly imported into your GetOiling system for your use immediately to send off to your members, to your prospects, to your builders, and so on. And there is an exclusive Facebook community with support both for tech and implementation. She does have a monthly text and email class. There are the monthly promo announcements and sale announcements available as well. Excuse me. You've got your monthly strategic seasonal content that's only available to subscribers in that given month. You've got an annual strategy for OGV and growth and relationship building through text and email. You've got a whole library of classic content with bundles to get you started. And then of course, you've got all of this content that's formatted for both text and email in GetOiling. So if you prefer text and you want to do that, we've got you. If you prefer email, we've got you that way as well. So do make sure that you get over here to getoiling.com/Modern Companion. And if you want to sign up, Jen's not going to be able to take a bunch of questions today, but if you want to sign up and learn more about Modern Companion and ask her questions, then definitely come to this page and then you can submit those questions for that live call. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my share. We'll come back to video here and take any questions that you guys have. And of course, if they are related specifically to Modern Companion, then we may need to, if I don't have the answer to them, then we may need to go off and address that on our upcoming webinar. So let me come over here into our chat and our Q&A and see what we've got here. Actually, quick show of hands. How many of, wait, quickly, let me lower the hands. How many of you here right now use Modern Companion already? If you do, please leave us a comment and let us know the kind of results that you're getting and how much you love it and why. Just to kind of put a cap on this and let everybody really know and understand the value of what Jen has created. I really, really like the way that she has this set up because I think that there's a lot of us who feel sensitive to coming across as salesy in the words that we use. And you know, while you can hear what I said today, you might feel stuck still. Like, well, what do give me an example. What do I actually say? This is a perfect opportunity for you to take advantage of her offer. This means $10 for a whole month. Like, she's giving you $5 off the first month. Guys, it's $15 a month, and she gives you all that stuff. And it's just really cool how she uses it. It really does feel like you're having a conversation or starting a conversation with someone, even though it's automated and at scale, right? You can get that kind of one-on-one response and result through using this. Let's see. Wanted to see. All right. Yeah, we are getting some questions about how this is different from other providers and platforms. That's something that we can definitely talk about more on her upcoming Q&A. But I will say this, you guys, we don't really have like a versus with our, this versus that with our content providers. Every one of you is different. And everyone has sort of a different feel, different brand, and a different way that you like to communicate. So what I would encourage you to do, because all of the providers in this space are incredibly affordable, is that you go ahead and just grab a month, whether it's with Jen or with any of the other content providers, and see how you like it. Get a feel for it. And you're going to find what really works best for you. And you may find that you like to use more than one. I know a lot of you guys use more than one content provider, right? How many of you here today use more than one content provider to supply you with things like images and campaigns and newsletters, right, for your business? So it's not really a this versus that. I really do see all of our content providers as being an apples to oranges situation, because at the end of the day, the messaging and the strategy is different, and different messages and strategies work for different people. So do what works for you. Everything is affordable enough to give this stuff a test run. So yeah, if you've got those questions specifically, make sure that are related to Modern Companion or to, how it might compare to other platforms, definitely do go over to getoiling.com/Modern Companion. Right now, as of the filming of this, there will be a pop-up on that page because we're going to have a live call at noon next Tuesday where Jen will be able to be on with us and answer any questions and share her strategy. And you'll get a feel from her, I think, when she talks more about this, sort of how her voice differs from the people who write the campaigns for other content providers. All right, so I want to kind of dig through here and see if there's any specific to GetOiling questions. If you guys have anything that you need help with, if you want help with the languaging on something, on the tech stuff, whatever, let us know now. We're here for you for this. All right. Forgive me, I'm going to go through these comments real quick. All right. Let me see. Is there a way for you to show us how the emails are written? Oh, so that would be specific to her. That's something maybe we can do a screen share with Jen with an example of something like that in our upcoming live call with her. Let's see. Currently have another subscription. Love to see the difference. I think they're worth the investment. I've dropped some that I no longer use. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. We love the content providers in this space, and we're partnering with, we would like to partner with every content provider in this space, because we understand that it's not like a matter of like one being better than another. It's about one being the right fit for you, or several, right? If that's what you want. I fully believe that there's something on offer from all of the great content providers in the space. All right. So, all right, so Tony is asking a question specifically about our Go for Gold. So in that particular, what you're asking about is how to create a lead magnet. If you go back to module 1 in Go for Gold, Tony, you're going to see that particular lesson is going to direct you to custom pages. The feature that you would be creating that lead magnet on is called custom pages. And I guess I can show you really quickly where that is in your site. Actually, it wouldn't be very quick because I have to log out of the account that I'm in right now. But basically, Tony, if you want to go to custom pages to create an article or something to give away as a lead magnet, go over to the left-hand side of your screen if you're on a larger device, or to the menu on the right side if you're on mobile, and then go under My Site, right? So you've got a whole menu, My Site, Settings, like the settings page, custom pages is where you're going to build that. All right, Diane says, I'm finding that when I write my copy, it's a struggle and does take a long time. Can you provide any feedback on how to improve my copywriting skills? Yeah, Diane, absolutely. If there is a specific bit of copy that you'd like to share for feedback, go ahead and post it in the Q&A. We could definitely help you with that. I think that just generally speaking, if you're talking about communicating your message, where, you would put something on the about section of your website, or in your social profiles, I would think about it in the same context that I would if I was to just explain verbally what I'm about and what I share in the grocery line, right? Or at a barbecue or wherever. I think that it's really easy to overthink this stuff because we spend a lot of time, especially if this is in the context of building your brand on the internet, we spend a lot of time looking at other people who we think are doing better than us. And we forget how great we are, and we forget how great our vision is, right? What it is that we want to do. Your vision is as important, if not more so, than what you've achieved so far. Don't forget that. So wherever you are is the right place to be. Project your future, right? Project what you're aiming for in whatever it is that you're writing. If you're talking about, I am, here we go. Nope, never mind, it's not it. Diane, if you want to share that, I'd be happy to help to continue on this tangent. But anyway, so what you want to make sure you do, you guys, when you're writing your story is to not overthink it and tell it like you would tell it verbally, just to whoever, right? Because at the end of the day, those are people who are going to be getting to know you. And when they get to know you, they're going to expect that everything that you do sounds like you because they love you for you, right? I don't know how many of you guys follow content creators in the online space. I'll give a great example. She's not in network marketing, but she's great for business. Her name is Marie Forleo. I've followed her since the very beginning of my career. She's been around for ages. She's buddies with Oprah. She's doing amazing things in this world. And she's got this incredible sass to her voice, and she writes like she talks. If you've seen her videos, then you read her emails. Her emails read like she's talking in her videos. And, she's a former backup dancer from Jersey, and that's how she comes across. and that's, to me, that's delightful. And I love hearing from her. And whoever you are, whatever your background is, should come through in the way that you talk. Don't try to be something different. Don't try to emulate somebody that's not you. Just make it be about you and the vision of who you want to help. All right. Is there a place in GetOiling that shows all the the content providers you partner with and describes their services and or how they differ? Suzette, we're working on that right now. And the very first of those resources that you have available is getoiling.com/modern companion. We will have in the future, as we create more of these and work with existing providers to create these pages, we will have a single menu where you can find all of that stuff for sure. All right, Diane's working on sending that to us now. Awesome. All right, Tony, again, back to setting up my site. Sorry, but initially I had a really long story posted and just redid it for my lead magnet, but my long story goes away, or is there somewhere else it would be? I think I know what you're talking about, Tony. So when you first shared, and this is specifically if you're following the Go for Gold modules, and for those of you who don't know about Go for Gold, it's a course we created with Martha Krejci, getoiling.com/go-for-gold. Your story, if you're following those steps fully in order as they're taught, you put your story into what is it, My Story and About, or My Story and Photo section under your site menu. And so that's going to show up on your landing pages. Okay, that's going to show up on your homepage and in different parts of your site automatically if you filled that out on that My Story and Photo menu area inside of GetOiling. You can copy that information and put it over onto a lead magnet by all means. By all means, you can add your information blurb on a lead magnet, but it's not going to automatically show up on every single page you create. All right, so a custom page, because that's where you're creating that lead magnet, can be anything. It can be the front page of your site. It could be anything. And what you're taught to do in that module is to basically create an article with a contact form that pops up. So that's all you're doing there. And so with the fact that you could do anything with these pages, we don't automatically have your story and photo updated to add on those pages. You could certainly add them if you wanted to. Hope that helps, because that means it is still there, by the way, unless you've deleted it. All right, Genevieve, when I start new members on your new member campaign, one of the emails encourages them to share their health goals. How should I respond when I receive their comments? Or is that just intended for future communications? Great question. So when someone responds to one of those campaign emails, we actually have some emails that are written for you inside of GetOiling that are designed to get people to reach out, right? This is a perfect example. So when people respond to those things, get on that as quickly as possible. And basically the way you can respond is say, hey, I saw you filled out that form. I'm really excited to help you with X, Y, and Z that you selected. What's a good time for us to talk? And that's it. That's it. But when you get a response from a campaign like that, whether it's from us or from Jen at Modern Companion or from any provider, what you want to make sure that you do is respond quickly, right? Whether it's email or text. All right. So Diane says, all right, so 3 action steps for women to start and stay on a fitness program. Diane, if that's the title, and actually it's a lead magnet, thank you for clarifying. All right, so think about it like this. All right, first, would you read it, right? Would you click to read that article? Would you give somebody your name and email in order to receive that article? Think about the reasons why women don't stay on a fitness program, okay? Or think about how it feels to a woman who wants to get fit, lose weight, get in shape, feel better, but she can't stick to the schedule, right? Maybe she's paying for a gym membership and hasn't been in a month. Okay. How does she feel about that? Is she frustrated? Is she beating herself up about it? Right? Think about that and then write the title. So 3 ways to start a fitness program that sticks. 3 ways to actually commit to your fitness goals this year, right? Now you're speaking to that woman in language that makes her go, oh, wait, tell me, what are those? Because I need that, right? So we want to make sure we're talking directly to someone. So where are you on your priority list? I'm sorry, I'm reading what Diane shared here. After years of putting everyone first and your kids cross over into adulthood. Okay, so you're speaking to women who are maybe empty nesters. All right, you've got time. How do you begin? Da, da, da. That's good. Okay. You got a fair amount here. I think that the most important thing that you need to make sure that you focus on and really zero in on, Diane, in your copywriting is to speak with them, like you really understand what's frustrating them right now. Why are these women not staying on their fitness programs, and how do they feel about it, and what's it doing to them? What are, and then have that thread through the rest of the things that you talk about. Let me know if that makes sense. Imagine a friend of yours who fits this profile of the women that you want to be reaching, called you up and said, Diane, I am so sick of feeling sick and tired. I've tried this, I've tried that. I just don't know what to do. You seem like you've got it together. Show me the way. And then you sit down with her and you say, okay, well, understand, here are the reasons why, you, or maybe a lot of folks aren't, able to get this result, right? And here's what I would recommend. Step 1, step 2, step 3, write your lead magnet out that way. Just like you're talking to your friend, right? That is, that's dealing with those issues, with those repercussions. Great job. Okay. Suzette asks, since you are suggesting we write in our own voice, but partner with content providers to make the best decision about who we partner with, what should we consider? I'm thinking it should be someone that sounds similar to us so we don't have to change too much verbiage and consider the message of delivery they suggest. Okay, Suzette, this is a great question. There's 2 main reasons that you want to partner with a content provider. Number 1 is it saves you a ton of time. Okay. Some of us, if we resonate enough with the person whose voice is coming out in that copywriting, then it's going to save you a ton of time. Okay. Number 2, it shows you how to do this right. Right. So when you're partnering with a content provider, you may not exactly love the way that they come across, but you understand that the structure and the formatting of what they're putting in place is correct. So there you can actually just go in and rewrite their sentences, right? Or change a couple of words around. So it's a framework in that second, so first, huge time saver, time is money. Second, it's a shortcut to getting this done right because they've got a framework for what works. So again, my best suggestion is to just go and you start a month, right? You got $10 and you get all that great content, and you'll see exactly how she does this so that you can modify, or if you love the way she talks, and it's very straightforward and heart-centered, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy what you find there. At getoiling.com/modern companion. But really with any provider, I want you to make sure that, first you try it out, right? And then consider, okay, well, if I feel like this doesn't sound like me, what are they doing right that I like? And, and then go from there to evaluate what's right for you. But either way, if you are not a professional marketer and copywriter, if you are not getting the exact results that you want and the kind of engagement that you want to get, I would recommend that you go ahead and partner with some providers and either use what they have verbatim or adjust it, because it is really one of the quickest paths to success is to apply what has worked for others, right? Then of course you adjust that to sound like yourself. All right, Claudia, so I have yet to add a GetOiling campaign to anyone. Can I see the content before I send it? I would love to send my PEs, especially those not ordering. What are some of their health issues like that other person mentioned? So I would actually recommend, just like I said earlier on, about sort of consent to the furthering of that conversation. People who you import from your VO, if you haven't been emailing them regularly, texting them regularly, they're not expecting to hear from you. So I wouldn't apply a promotional type of campaign to them directly. If it is promotional, I would offer them an educational opportunity and have them opt in to receive that campaign from a landing page. So instead of just applying a campaign to your contacts, you send an email to those personally enrolled who aren't ordering and say, hey, I've created a new resource that talks about X, Y, and Z. If that's something that you're interested in, click this link and register on this page, and then you'll start receiving these emails or texts, right? That's how I would recommend that you do that. Now, where you talk about the Modern Companion content, that's going to be a little different. And I'm really excited for you guys to hear from Jen on Tuesday, because some stuff really is, I mean, it's like a campaign or more like a saved reply in some cases that really just is a prompt to get people to email and text you back just to start the conversation. So there are options outside of what I just described, but if what you want to share with someone is product promotional, make sure that before you just blanket send everything to everyone in your VO contacts that you've put into GetOiling, consider making a landing page and giving them the opportunity to say, yeah, I want that. I want to learn more about that. Because that way you're going to get the response from them that you're looking for. Because if they don't want to hear it, then fine. That's fewer marketing credits used by you, and that's more trust held by you by not sending them things that they didn't say they're interested in. All right. Oh, here we go. Karen Smith says, I struggle as a mama of seven, mom of seven, to get content up and going. I hear you, sister. I love Grow Workspace. I know we'll love Modern Companion. $10 investment is so much worth it, so worth it. For Facebook algorithm, we need to adjust it a bit. So I've heard, yeah. So a little bit there. It's obviously you can attest to the benefit, Karen, of having somebody else write this stuff for you to figure it out for you so that you can edit it and adjust it to your liking. But yeah, $10, pretty good deal. GetOiling.com/modern companion. Go there now so that you can get onto our live call with her. I think that, again, for a lot of you who are like, well, how is it different from? You're going to get the answer there if you haven't already kind of gleaned it from right here. If you guys have any more questions about your own copywriting, about GetOiling, about your tech, let us know. We're here right now and happy to help. Before we get going, got about 10 minutes here before the top of the hour. All right, so Claudia says, would like to reach out first, conversation started, then if they want, I would send them that campaign. But on the GetOiling site, I don't know how to view the okay, got you. All right, so the pre-written campaign that's in GetOiling is going to vary based on what this is about, right? So if these are your members, like if you wanted to have to send out a campaign to your new members, We do have a new member campaign. We have a new prospects campaign that actually really tees people up to, to have a conversation with you and to get started with Young Living. So if you want to see any campaign for yourself, all you have to do is go over to your campaigns page, which is under your contacts menu in your back office of GetOiling. And then you just click on that individual campaign and you can read the messages. You can click and open and read those messages. If you'd like to, you could opt in and send that campaign to yourself. You could apply that campaign to yourself. If you add yourself, your information to your contact manager as a contact, that's a great way to view this stuff if you wanted to do that first. All right. And then also, and make sure that you have read them, importantly, because you do want to make sure that you are sending this stuff to the right people. We do have them named appropriately, right? Where you've got new prospects campaigns. So people who are not in Young Living should receive these messages. And then you've got new member campaigns. So when you first sign someone up and you want to get them excited about getting their kit, that is another built-in campaign inside of GetOiling. The voice there, the info there may or may not be what you want. Maybe you want to use a content provider, right? So yeah, just make sure you go through and read those things first and make sure it's appropriate to the people that you want to send it to. All right, Connie would like to know about tags. Please explain tags. Can't wrap my head around them from the very beginning, what they are, how to use them. It sounds like they'd be helpful if I completely understand them. Okay, so Connie, tags are a wonderful way to really drill down and make sure that you are communicating only with the exact people that you want to. Okay, that in a nutshell is what tags are. Now, when you upload your contacts from your VO, you are automatically going to see tags applied from our system onto those contacts. So if you wanted to do a search in your contacts and filter out and only reach your members or only reach your product prospects, which would be people who didn't come from your VO, right? Everyone who just comes in through a landing page, even if you don't have a tag applied, is going to say prospect. So this is just a quick way for you to sort that down. Now you can apply additional tags, right? So Amanda, what are some of the designations, like, because I don't have a VO. So in the VO, what kind of things can you kind of filter for? Maybe people about to cancel or about to go inactive or something. Like what are the sort of designations in there?
Yeah, the about to go inactive, you can do things, like your if they are, I believe it's even if they are, if they have, what do you want to say, if they are on PV, stuff like that too.
Got you. Okay, so there are tags that our system doesn't necessarily apply right away. Our tag does, and Darcy, to answer your question about how do you redo tags if someone's not on ER anymore, one of the system tags that uploads when you upload your contact file from the VO is who is on Essential Rewards and who is not. So if you are continually, and do this once a week, if your organization is growing very rapidly, do this multiple times per week or daily, when you upload, you don't lose any information, but it does update information. Okay, so make sure that you're uploading your VO file regularly of your contacts, and that is going to ensure that people who are in fact on ER are people that you can say, go in and write an email only to people who are on ER, or write an email to people who are not on ER. Connie, is that helping? That's like the purpose of tags, is for you to not just send one thing, like if you want to send a message to everyone, or if you've got 60,000 people in your organization, you don't want to go and try to fish through and find 10 people who are a particular thing, right? So think about it this way. If you create a landing page, for instance, for your prospects, and this landing page is going to offer a free online tutorial of how to use Savvy Minerals. Okay, sign up here to get my free video on how to use Savvy Minerals. When you create that landing page, you can make that landing page apply a tag to everyone who puts their name and email in, or text, or their phone number, right? So then you would have a Savvy Minerals tag or a makeup tag, And for everyone who maybe clicked that landing page link that's on your Facebook or, on wherever, and they find that link and they opt in, you can now go into your contact manager, type that savvy minerals or makeup tag, and find all the people who are prospects who are interested in natural makeup, in case you wanted to share product promotion, in case you wanted to maybe launch a new educational series or something to that effect, right? That's what the tags are for. And you can, like, one contact can have as many tags as you can fathom. All right, and you can actually include or exclude tags. You can search for people who are on ER but are also another thing. People who are on ER who are into makeup. Like, you can do this however ever you want. And we do have lots more training on this.
And we were even talking about how we can tag for people that have birthdays in February, being that we don't have a birthday field right now. So we tag for, like birthday January, February birthday or whatever. So then you can search for all those people that have a birthday in February and then send them out a birthday message too, and stuff like that. So
absolutely, that's another great point. You've got all that information that's imported from the VO. So that's another way you can do that. Yeah. Awesome. Karen asks, do you have a new member campaign for all the kits or just the oils? Haven't really looked yet. It is the oils kit. However, what you can do is copy that campaign and create a brand new one, and then use the same formatting, the same kind of copywriting we've got, or make your own, but use the same format to talk about the products in another kit, such as Thieves or Ningxia or CBD. Totally. All right, Eileen says, I'm trying to go to Modern Companion to see examples of her content. So if you go to getoiling.com/Modern Companion, there will be, there's several links on that page that will go straight there. Right, so you click, there's a white button there that takes you off to her page directly. All right, Tabitha, working through Go for Gold, bat signal. I keep coming back to personal development. I get it with business, but tying into products, I'm struggling to see that. Ooh, tell me in the comments, how many of you guys here today who are building a business with Young Living have a couple or one specific go-to oils when it comes time to give a presentation, talk to a prospect, or maybe even more importantly, when you are getting spiritually centered? How many of you have an oil for that? Oh, I hope all of you do. Yeah, joy, that's one. Yes, I've heard valor a lot, right? So Tabitha, when it comes to crafting a message that is yours, that speaks to what you're about, oils absolutely weave into that. And there's probably a couple of other things that do too. It's not just trying to say, okay, well, how do I make personal development and oils come together? There's a lot more that contributes to who you are and what you're about. There are other ways that you integrate personal development and oils into your life. What does that result in? What's the bigger story there? But there's definitely something there. Brain power, I see another one, CBD, calm, valor, present time. There you go. So there's an oil for that as a big part of your conversation, right? But then also, just making sure that this is about your story, right? This is about how you can help someone else. Who is that person that would come to you? We were talking about Diane's example earlier about how, some women really want to see a difference in their physical form and in their well-being, but it's really hard with today's world, or, just the responsibilities of being an adult human that we can't necessarily commit to getting it done. What are the implications of people not getting the results that you could help them get? Have that conversation with them in the copywriting and in the storytelling that you provide. All right, Suzette, I'm wondering what you think of using sways for blog content on our site. It's a bit weird because they have to click it to see it. Fun and different, or a hindrance to being read. Okay, so Suzette, there's actually a couple of things you can do here. Sways are great to use as a lead magnet if you wanted to. And it doesn't, just because it's a lead magnet doesn't mean that it has to be just for people who aren't in your organization. right? Because if you wanted to have a sway that talked about a specific product line, then what you're basically doing, if you're sharing this with your members, is you're allowing your members to identify themselves to you with the things that are most important to them, right? So create a landing page, have a sway on the other side of it, and apply the tag to that landing page. So if the sway is about CBD, you now have a member base who has opted in to see the CBD information. And so now you know the exact members to contact when there is an update with CBD. Does that make sense? All right. Oh, and also, Suzette, if you have premium, if you're at premium or above and GetOiling, you can embed a sway on a custom page. So you can actually copy the code from a sway, like an HTML code, and you can actually embed that code on a sway. We do have a YouTube video. If you search youtube.com/GetOiling, we do have a how to use sways. Whole training that teaches you how to do that. Another place you can put sways is also where you can scroll through them is in your member area as a class as well. You could have sways in your class files. So I think that it can be valuable. If you have sway, or sorry, if you have premium and pro and above in GetOiling, you can embed that sway on your blog post. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. I think it's a great idea. All right, can you show how to apply a tag? We've got a bunch of trainings on how to do that specifically. And Connie, frankly, there's like 6 or 7 different ways to do it. It depends on what it is that you want to do. You can select all of your contacts. And guys, you know what, if there was one thing like where all of like the how do we do this is concerned, I'm not sure if you've ever clicked it before, but I want to encourage you to. But down at the bottom right-hand screen of your screen in GetOiling is a little question mark. And if you go and you type in the word tag, you're going to see a bunch of different information there that's going to talk about exactly how you can do this. And in some cases, point you off to videos that instruct you on exactly what to do. Now, what I've been talking about today specifically is having a landing page. And when you create the landing page in the setting, you add 1 or more tags to it. And that means that your contacts then become tagged when they opt into that landing page. Another way to do that, when you're uploading your contacts into your VO, there's a field from your VO. There's a field down at the bottom where you can apply 1 or more tags. You can do that on individual contacts. You can bulk do this to contacts. We've got a lot of video content that teaches you how to do this. It really just depends on what the purpose is that you're trying to serve. So, so definitely, you know, get in touch with us or go through that Q&A, or sorry, not the Q&A, just that little question box. That is the most laser targeted way to get answers to most questions that you guys might have where tech and implementation is concerned on the GetOiling platform. So click that little question mark, type in tag, and I think you're going to find more than you wanted to know. All right. Claudia says, I'm manually entering each new enrollee since I imported all names at the time when I started GetOiling. So Claudia, what I would encourage you to do is to just upload from your VO. Every time you personally enroll a new member, or just make it a point, take 2 minutes out of your day twice a week, depending on how fast your organization is growing, just to upload your VO, because it's going to add your new members. You don't have to add those contacts manually. And it's gonna upload not just their name and their information. It's going to keep everything updated for them. So it is important, especially where your members are concerned, so you know who's on ER, who's not, anniversary dates, stuff like that. Make sure that you don't manually do this, but upload the file from the VO. We do have a video on how to do that. It's on the very top sort of getting started bar. When you sign in, it shows you just a quick, it's like 3 minutes maybe, and it doesn't even take you 3 minutes to do the whole thing. All right, where in the VO will we find the member's birthday? I didn't know that was there. I'm not qualified to answer that question. Amanda, do you know where that is?
I thought, let's see. Yeah, I don't see birthday actually in there, but a lot of people will even, like they will find that out from their downline of when their birthday is. So that way it can well, and I should say too, essentially, like their birthday that I was referring to is like, or I shouldn't say birthday, but their activation day, their day of joining Young Living.
Their oil birthday.
Right. I should have called it an anniversary.
Okay, got you.
Your 1 year anniversary for being with, or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that I believe is in the back office. It's called the sign up date,
Okay.
which is in there. When you are looking at your downline, and you just click on the individual person, it does give you that information for their activation date.
Okay, there we go. So not birthday, anniversary.
Anniversary.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay, so speaking further of merging contacts into the VO, Cynthia asks, when you download the VO and it merges with a contact you had, does any info get deleted in the merge? No. Everything just gets updated. If they have opted out of getting campaigns, that setting is going to stay there. You don't have to delete that contact, just keep it as it is. If they go inactive, I think, which was a question from Darcy, if they go inactive, that's going to show up as well. Just keep on uploading your VO file. It's going to have your updated member information in it always. All right. Suzette, can you intermingle your blog posts with my own? I don't write them as often as I wish. You are able to upload or have the Young Living blog feed in your blog. So we don't blog for you, but we show you how to blog in a number of different avenues, but you could also just bring Young Living's blog into yours if you wanted. And that's a setting, and that's in that green progress bar up at the very top of your GetOiling back office. If you click that, it's going to show you exactly how to do it. It's really fast. It's like go to this link and click this box. That's it. All right. Cynthia said, did you say it was $15 or $10 to sign up for Modern Companion? Yes. So it is $15 a month. Right now, as of this filming, if you use the code GetOiling, one word, it will be $10 for your first month. So she's giving you $5 off for your first month if you use the code GetOiling on her site, and you'll get redirected there if you go to getoiling.com/modern companion. All right, Claudia says, my struggle is real with creating content that people are actually responding to. Claudia, first, I want to acknowledge good for you for making content. Good for you for getting the process started. This is something that even professionals labor to improve over time. There is no perfect way to do this. Progress is perfection. The fact that you've gotten this started, I want to acknowledge, is the most important thing. So doing what you're doing is good. So Facebook response is almost non-existent, and Instagram is mostly my Young Living friends supporting my posts. I do mix personal life and Young Living education. I have Grow and use them, but I'm struggling with daily post ideas so I can map out the week or the month. That would be a dream come true and a lifesaver. I haven't grown followers for so long, I feel stuck. So first, Claudia, where we're mapping out your content is concerned, where getting a calendar in place for your content is concerned. I hope you have Go for Gold. Both of those things are literally in there with not just a video on how to do these things, but the background on them, how to get the depth there, and then the actual framework that you can print out and use, okay, with examples. So if you aren't using Go for Gold, highly, highly recommend that you go there and you go through the modules one by one. It will build you an entire system as you go if you follow those directions. But I think really importantly, for you, Claudia, just from what I'm seeing here, is that you might want to consider reframing your language and how you're speaking about yourself. You are attempting to, right? You are in the process of changing a lot of lives in a specific direction by a specific means. Let's honor that, right? By shifting your language. Let's not say I'm stuck. Let's not say I'm struggling. Let's say the vision, right? Let's put that first, because you are endeavoring toward that. And you need to honor that in yourself. And do make sure, getoiling.com/go for gold. If you don't have that, I feel like you have that. I think I've seen you in there. But this is all, I mean, just in full. I created those specific modules, and I think they'll help you a lot. Okay. Diane, would you recommend adding your monthly newsletter to your blog and GetOiling? So your monthly newsletter is something that you want to send out to your people. That is something that's sort of an exclusive thing. Your blog is a thing. If I could revisit an analogy, I actually used this in the Go for Gold student group this past week. In the broad scheme of things, your blog posts or your videos or your posts on social media are breadcrumbs. And somebody might find a breadcrumb and they're like, oh, that tastes really good. They follow that trail of breadcrumbs, your blog posts, your lead magnet, right? Like toward your landing page. And once they opt into your landing page, they are then delivered an appetizer, right? So the landing page is delivering an appetizer, and then, which is your lead magnet, and then they're ready to hear from you what's on the menu for dinner. Okay. Didn't come out as beautifully as it did in my head. Anyway, so people who want the breadcrumbs lead to the table where you're like, okay, here's the appetizer, that's your lead magnet, people opt in, right? Then you give them the goods. Part of the goods, hearing from you, is your monthly newsletter. So don't put it on your blog. Your blog is a thing that is intended to provide information, that is intended to establish credibility and trust and have people get to know you and what you have to share, and then provide a window of opportunity for them to come to the table and get that thing that you're offering, right? Not Young Living yet, right? Because they got to qualify. Not everybody is going to be right for you to work with, right? So that's kind of the flow of how that works. So don't put your monthly newsletter on your blog. You could put a landing page link where people can sign up for your monthly newsletter on your blog. You could definitely do that. You should do that. But don't put the content of the newsletter itself on there. All right, so many great questions today. Okay, we'll take just what's left here before we go. All right, following up on your answer to my question above, Tony, and using the help to access the custom page builder, click on the settings in my site settings, then click on custom pages. Oh, I see. So if you don't see the custom page option, Tony, then that means that you are not at basic or above. The custom pages feature opens up at our basic level and above. If you want to create lead magnets and you aren't ready to commit to basic or above and GetOiling, you do have other options. You could create a private YouTube video or an unlisted YouTube video and have that be the thing that links, that you link to people. You could also create your lead magnet content inside of another type of document, like a Word document, and export it to a PDF and upload that to your site. If you go to getoiling.com/getleads, there is a full free training there on how you can actually create a PDF document and create a funnel if you want to see how that's done. So if you want custom pages, which guys, you do, you want to be at basic and above. If you're not quite there yet, totally fine. Do explore those other options, and you can find those at getoiling.com/getleads. Oh, Claudia, you made me smile. Okay. All right. Claudia says, this is Claudia Huck. I usually send out a monthly newsletter, so I should not automatically send this to members, but send a message offering a newsletter and then click a link to get it. Then would I create a landing page for the newsletter? Would they have to enter the name, email, etc. to get the page? Seems redundant. Once they opt in, do they have to opt in every month? Okay, so if you have already been sending out a newsletter to people, if people are already, from a behavioral perspective, expecting to hear from you because you're doing it already, don't change a thing, okay? If that's what you're already doing. But if this is something that you're endeavoring to start, or something that you've only done sporadically, or if you're just getting started with GetOiling and you've got a large organization of whom you have not contacted, or maybe don't know or have a relationship with, or they're not following you for all of the members of your organization, this is especially if you have a larger organization, you do want to make sure that you provide people with that opportunity to opt in. It is the better thing to do. And then basically all you would have to do is apply, like write newsletter on that landing page as your tag. And then when it's time to send your newsletter, you filter your contacts for the newsletter tag and then send the newsletter out to those people. It's the better thing to do in the long run. However, again, if you are someone who already has, up until this point, every month or however frequently, been sending it out, then don't stop doing what you've been doing. But it's not redundant because, and this is important for you guys to understand, in most businesses where you have a newsletter, people are opting in to receive the newsletter. They aren't just receiving the newsletter because they bought something and they're a part of a larger organization. They self-selected and gave the business permission to send them monthly newsletters. There is, from a legal standpoint, a right that you possess to reach out to and send things to people in your organization. However, if you want to be most effective about this, and again, I'm really talking more to folks who have 1,000 or several thousand people in your organization and you have not been mailing them consistently, therefore they aren't used to seeing your name in their inbox or their number in their phone, okay? You really want to focus on permission-based marketing, even if it is to your members, because that way you're going to have fewer people marking you as spam or ignoring your stuff altogether, right? You want so in the email marketing world, deliverability is a thing, right? And deliverability means the likelihood of your email address, the messages from your email address, not landing in the spam folder of the people that you're sending stuff to. If you're sending emails in bulk to a whole lot of people who don't know your name and aren't used to hearing from you, there is a strong likelihood that those people are going to ignore and never open, and that does impact deliverability rates, right? Whether or not things go to a spam filter. And then it will also have people marking you as spam, which will tell email providers to put you in the spam folder, right? So it's the right thing to do. It does seem like it sounds redundant. If you have already been emailing consistently, you don't need to go and do this. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. Claudia Huff, let me know if you have any other questions where that's concerned. And once they opt in and they have that tag and you are emailing to that tag every month, they don't have to opt in again. They're there. They're there for you. And the other thing too, and this is important, if you start sending out material that people didn't ask for every month, they could unsubscribe from you, and now you aren't able to reach them with other important things that they need to hear from you. That's the other thing, right? You want to make sure you have permission as often as possible and have people engage in that process of saying, yes, that's the thing I want to hear from you, so that they don't say, no, I don't want to hear from you anymore, and then you can't reach them at all. Okay. Claudia Larson, I do have all the things you have suggested. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Claudia, just go for the Go for Gold modules, like just one by one. Please don't skip anything. Follow the instructions in full. I promise you're going to get to that. We have in module 1 at the very end of it, there is a whole like brainstorming sesh, and I've started it off, like kicked it off for you with examples, and that's what you use to plan your content. And then further along toward the end of the modules, there's actually a content calendar that I've created for you to use. All right. Okay, Carrie says, I've heard you mention Go for Gold before, but I've not been on these calls consistently. Is this a program we need to purchase, or is it available to us as members? Carrie, Go for Gold is an online course that we partnered with Martha Krejci, the creator of Golden 6. We did a webinar with her at the end of 2019. That is separate. But if you go to getoiling.com/go for gold, you can find it there. You could also, if there's anybody here, if you want to, just mention in the chat, I know she's got some coupon codes and stuff like that. It's soup to nuts how to build Young Living and get leads for your business and use a strategy that Martha used to go gold in 6 months. So it is separate. It does involve intimately using the GetOiling platform, and we show you exactly what to do at every single step. The videos hold your hand and show you how to do everything. It's a really great thing to have if you're using us, and it's a one-time payment, and it's like super, super, super packed with value. All right. Let's see. How do I delete a blog? Diane, if you go to your blog posts page on the left-hand column of your screen, left for you. On the left-hand column of your screen, you'll see a post and like a manage. There's 2 different links there. You'll see, just like you would with any other content that you put together, whether it's events or pages or what have you, where you can actually delete your posts. All right, where do you get the monthly newsletter? So the monthly newsletter is something that you can create. We have templates for that. It's inside of a feature in our platform called Saved Replies. That's under contact settings. You can find saved replies there, and you can upload your own images or use ours and put your text into the fields there. You could also use one of our fantastic content providers for newsletters as well. All right, and Carrie, you're welcome. Awesome, awesome. Just realized I'll need at least a month's time to properly complete Go for Gold modules. You know, if it takes that much time, it's fine. You've built an asset for your business, right? For the long term. All right, good deal. Let's see, how will I think we got everything. Yeah, good job, everybody. Great questions today. Remember, getoiling.com/modern companion. Go there now so that you can get, for those of you who are watching this now live or who will watch this as a replay, go over there and make sure that you sign up for that upcoming live call with Jen Bloomberg, who created Modern Companion. Learn how you can get her voice in your email, or how you can learn from her voice how to write better emails and texts, and have these things done for you in your business. All right. Amanda Fendi, show everybody your dog.
Fendi, our little mascot, right?
Oh my God, yes. She's so cute.
Oh.
All right, cool. Thank you guys for coming. Again, just can't stress enough how important it is to put your voice into what you do. And one of the best ways that you can get that done is by learning from someone who does it well. And that's what you can get when you go to getoiling.com/modern companion. We'll see you on that special live session with Jen next week. And of course, you sign up for it if you want to get the recording. All right, well, we'll see you guys on the next live work session. Have a great week.
Thanks, guys.